Hello everybody, Chris Wood here. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. September 29th, 2022. Right now, I have absolutely no feeling whatsoever in my head. I only feel electricity. My skull has been getting expanded. It's getting deformed. I'm getting what feels like air going through my body. And I'm also getting what feels like water or liquid of some kind going through me, through my kidney area, my bowels. It's coming up from my lungs. I only have one lung now, so congratulations to everybody involved. You were destroying me, you were doing the damages, you were doing what you intended to do to slow kill, murder me. For revenge retaliation. Thank you very much, o.p.p. Spencer Mills 14716, Staff Sergeant, ex-Chief, Shannon Cork, Robert King, Robert Lucas, Stacy, mental health worker, whether still there or not, it was Bailey Tea Company, now Kingston, Shelley Hafner or Huffner, Dr. Tatiana V, aka Margie V, Stacy's girlfriend, Dr. Troy Hadley, Dr. McGregor, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. Waldron. Ones they've used to discriminate against me also, Dr. Mbambola, Dr. Sue, and Dr. Fardell. Triage nurses involved, Terry, triage nurse Tanya, blonde-haired woman, and triage nurse David, and Paladin security guard. He's the one that assures that their victims are kicked out of the hospital for no reason, to assure that their crimes are covered up and their victims are not seen. That's his job at the hospital. Especially when you go there to get checked out for problems and register, he comes out and says, "Get out of the hospital, nobody's seen you today." Okay, fine. Causing me a lot more harm and damage done, especially to my kidneys and my lung, which no longer are barely working. I have emphysema now, thanks to you motherfuckers. You're doing your job, you're going around, you're using the remote neural monitoring, you're passing it around to all these different junkies, o.p.p. to William Wooldridge, to your boss of 149 Center Street North, to Blair Hardy, who is allegedly in jail, but all he needs is a cell phone or a computer, either given or hooked up his ass, to still use this. And he is still using it on me. And if he is in jail, it's there on false charges because he is a co-offender and he is also boss to o.p.p. So therefore he would be there hiding, or he is there collecting money and dealing the drugs. That's his job. Then there's Tyler Lake, and there's Jay Van Alstyne, and he most likely is hiding out at a guy named Ray Ray's, a guy on East Street that has a white deaf pit bull. He is involved, and so is his roommate Sam. There is also another homeless guy named Mike. He lives in a tent or a trailer. There is a Destiny Crystal Larrabee, or Gilchrist. There is Crystal Larrabee, her mother. There is another guy. There is Tyler Lake's friend. He's fat, he's scruffy. He has meth scabs all over his face, and he rides around on a BMX or a mountain bike, and hangs out usually down on Water Street. There is also conveniently Allie Cooper and Bucktooth Bob, who I was over at the store earlier getting some stuff, getting coffee and whatnot, and I walked in and he was in there. He is a bald guy, gray, a little bit of gray hair on top, a crowbar mustache and glasses. He's over 6 foot. He's roughly 6'2", 6'3", and he walks around with a bag of drugs. He was in the store, and as soon as he see me come in, he proceeded to follow me around and stand directly beside me. Never said a word though. He went and paid for his stuff, and he started calling the guys working there a whole lot of names, calling them fucking assholes and cunts and threatening them and everything else. So he was going crazy in the store. Anyway, as I'm doing this, I have no feeling but electricity going through me. My head's being completely fucking numbed, and the spot on the back of my head, I have absolutely no feeling. So congratulations, you have severely deformed my fucking skull. It's gotten flatter, it's gotten shorter, it's gotten rounder. I've lost approximately 3 to 4 inches off of my skull from being deformed, from being broadcasted through. I am basically being carved from the inside out through remote neuromonitoring from all of these bastards broadcasting through me. Plus I have his prisoner tracking on me, and the remote neuromonitoring I read is in 24/7. I basically have a breathing tube inside my lung now, and it comes up from my lung. It goes through, it's also through my kidney as well. It's through all, pretty much from my bowels up to my kidneys and through my right lung and right side, and then it comes up here through the veins in my neck and down through here, and that's where it travels up into the little spot. I have what feels like a tube come up underneath my tongue on both sides, plus on the roof of my mouth. I also have what feels like something pushing down on it, and then I get all the pressure in my head. But in the meantime, it goes up to the back of my head, to the spot on the back of my head, and then it spreads around. So my head and my face are being completely deformed by these pieces of shit. I'm being numbed down to be dumbed down in hopes that they forget it, in the hopes that I forget about what has taken place with me. This is how police human traffic, this is how they frame, and this is how they murder. They're using inmates, they're using ex-KP psychotic patient inmates. They're using junkies on the street that they are feeding drugs and money to, i.e. Tyler Lake, Jabin Olstein, Ray Ray. They are refusing arrest for 3 years now, except for me, to deflect the crimes, to give me a record, and also to get out of to deflect the crimes exactly from what has taken place through o.p.p. and the doctors here and everybody else, the lies, the time buying, the cover-ups. Like I said, arrest refusals except for on o.p.p. victims and doctors' victims. This is how they get away with their crimes. They medically blacklist their victims. They medically discriminate. Excuse me. They medically discriminate against their victims while their victims are provably being injured and calling crazy and retarded. This is Lennox and Addington Hospital. You are guilty of aiding and abetting with criminal felony intent to commit this identity theft and framing homicide on me. This is premeditated against me for speaking police crimes from the human homeless trafficking out of the Morning Star mission and the exploitation, monetary exploitation for monetary gains and other crimes. This is 100% revenge retaliation on me. Back in 2019, August, I was shot by something. It went into my right ear, ex-o.p.p chief in a white Jeep, and someone in a black truck, and that's when all my problems started. After Spencer Mills showed up at my place to basically threaten and intimidate me, let me know that if I didn't stop talking about what was taking place out of the mission, there'd be serious consequences. And he was right. Then the stalking by Wooldridge, every time I would go out, he was always right there every single time, and so were the police. Why? Because I have illegal prisoner tracking on me. No criminal record or history, except for being charged to deflect the crimes what has taken place with me now. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Chris Wood here. Love all, hate none. Be safe, watch yourselves, watch your children. Heck, human sex trade, slavery, trafficking, children to pedophiles, adults to sex offenders. They're involved with financial thefts and frauds, identity thefts and frauds, pension thefts and frauds, insurance thefts and frauds. So, and they're all doing it through remote neuromonitoring. There's also another guy here in town named Isaac as well involved, head of everybody. So, be safe, watch yourselves, watch your children. They have no problem murdering elderly. William Wooldridge, Blair Hardy are guilty of murdering my mother and using R&M is how they done it, giving her cancer. So age means nothing for them. A life is a life. Congratulations, time bought, you killing pieces of shit terrorists.